The movie story starts in a prison, showing a tied-up prisoner in chains. After soldiers arrive, the prisoner's cell doors opened, and he is dragged to a balcony. All the people shout, calling him a killer and a bloodthirsty monster. The jailer asks a guard to say his revenge. In front of the crowd, the guard says the court has sentenced him to death by hanging in 2 days. But before hanging, the executioner will break his arms and legs. Everyone is thrilled to hear this. Who is this killer? Let's find out. Now the story goes back a few years, showing the Paris fish market, the city's stinkiest place. People make a living selling fish and meat. Here, we see a woman selling fish who gives birth to a dead baby. This woman has given birth to 4 dead babies before, and she throws them into the river with rotten fish. But now she has given birth to a living baby, but thinking it is dead, she throws it into a river. Now the baby cries because of the smell of rotten fish. People standing there see this baby and curse his mother. This baby is the prisoner who was sentenced. His name was Jean. He had 2 special things. First, he had an amazing sense of smell. Second, if anyone left him, that person would die somehow, because his mother, who threw him away after birth, was sentenced to death. Jean is sent to Madame Golot's orphanage, who raises children only for money. But the children in the orphanage feel insecure about their importance, so they try to kill Jean. But Golot comes there and saves him and beats those children. Facing difficulties in the orphanage, Jean cannot speak a single word for 5 years. But using his sense of smell, he knows everything. Because the orphanage has less space, Golot sells him to a collector of animal skins at the age of 13. As soon as Jean leaves, some thieves kill Golot and steal all her money. Jean's buyer makes him work very hard, and he also takes him to the city, where Jean tastes the amazing world and scents for the first time, leaving behind the bad smells. Leaving the goods, Jean is drawn to a perfume shop. He sees a shopkeeper holding a very famous perfume, and at the same time, he gets another scent from a fruit-selling girl. He is fascinated by her. The girl gives him fruit while keeping him hungry, but Jean grabs her hand. She gets scared and leaves, but Jean finds her using his sense of smell. He sits behind her. The girl suspects someone is behind her, and she screams in fear, but Jean presses her mouth to avoid attracting people's attention. So people don't gather there. As soon as people leave, Jean takes words out of the girl's mouth, causing her to die, and her fragrance slowly goes away, and Jean is surprised. Where will the fragrance disappear? Now, let's talk about another character who was the great perfume maker of Paris City, and he lost his job due to the arrival of new perfume makers in the city. He copied other perfume makers. That evening, Jean goes to his shop to deliver goat skins, and he sees different types of perfumes there. Feeling the smell of Baldini's body, Jean says he can make such a perfume for him, and Baldini makes fun of him. Jean tells him about the power of his ability. Baldini gives him a chance. Jean 1 makes a perfume and gives it to Baldini, who recognizes the scent of love in them. This perfume was the most famous, so Baldini was surprised. Seeing this, Jean assures him that he can also make the best perfume. Baldini misses his lost love when he smells the fragrance. His talent is huge. Now, Baldini gets Jean from Grimal. That same night, drunk Grimal falls into a river and dies. Jean becomes special for Baldini's perfumes, making them famous all over Paris. Baldini teaches Jean how to make perfumes. He tells Jean about 3 sets, each with 4 scents, from which every perfume is made. This means there are 12 scents that humans can easily recognize. Otherwise, if someone makes a 13th perfume, no human in the world can match that perfume. Jean gets very excited thinking he will succeed, and he asks Baldini to teach him the process, promising to tell the best method in the world. Baldini explains the process of putting 10,000 flowers in a bottle, which he learned before coming to Paris. One day, Baldini finds Jean crying. When Baldini asks why, Jean calls him a liar, saying his method is useless and old. I couldn't trap iron and glass in a bottle. After Baldini leaves, Jean faints. Now Baldini starts worrying about how much his fame will suffer if Jean gets sick. Jean asks Baldini about other methods, and he tells him how to extract perfume from animal fat. Baldini orders him to go to Grasse. He takes 1,000 formulas in return. Jean realizes this work is going to Grasse because Baldini is sending him there. As soon as Jean leaves, Baldini's house turns to dust, and he dies. Going to Grasse, Jean feels freedom for the first time. He was no one's slave and could make his own decisions. Now there are 2 ways to go to Grasse, one through the village and the other through the mountains. Now he starts going through the mountains. On the way, he sees a cave where he stops to rest. He spends several days there, sleeping peacefully, and once he dreams of the fruit-selling girl. Waking up confused, Jean starts to feel his body odor, but he doesn't feel his own body odor. While bathing in the rain outside, he realizes he has no scent of his own. The next morning, as he goes towards Grasse, he feels the scent of the same fruit-selling girl. He sees a beautiful girl getting out of a carriage. Seeing this, he follows her and comes to Grasse. Following this girl, he enters the palace of Riches, the richest man in the world. Laura, that lovely girl, is his daughter, who was the most beautiful woman in Grasse. Jean works for a woman whose husband keeps a close eye on her. While living with them, Jean learns 2 methods of making perfume from animal fat. He uses the first method on his female co-worker. He boils the girl's body in a tank with animal fat, but he doesn't succeed. In the second process, he takes a streetwalker, using animal fat on cloth. After killing her, Jean shaves her head, and polishing her dead body, he wraps it in cloth. And he succeeds in extracting perfume from that cloth using Baldini's method, which he tests on a streetwalker's pet dog. Then he makes a set of 13 bottles, as told by Baldini. This means 1 murder for each bottle. At Laura's birthday party, all the boys and girls play hide and seek. Taking the chance, Jean also reaches there and attacks Laura, but she escapes, and twin girls present at the party disappear. Now we know that Jean killed these 2 girls by making the first 2 bottle sets, and the bodies of both girls are seen floating in the water under the city bridge. After this, a series of girl murders starts throughout the city, and the scared people start locking their house doors to save their daughters. But Jean makes 12 bottles and mixes them all in 1 big bottle. Now he needs 1 more bottle to make the best perfume. That means killing Laura. Ricci says all the dead girls were young. There are no marks on their bodies. This killer killed them for some reason. Everyone goes to the church for help, and the church father agrees to help. A man comes there and tells them the killer has been caught. Everyone is happy to hear this. Riches doesn't believe this news. Worried about his daughter, he decides to leave Grasse and runs away with his daughter the next day. Jean smells Laura leaving the city. Following her, he finds her with his ability. On the other side, a dog walking on the street finds his owner's hair and clothes in Jean's room. Drew, who was Jean's co-worker, knows about this. Police investigation also finds other girls' clothes and hair. Rishi stays in a hotel all night with his daughter Laura and keeps his daughter's room keys in his room. Jean steals the key from his room and goes to Laura's room. The next day, coming to Laura's room, Rishi's cries, seeing Laura's dead body. Now Jean makes the 13th bottle and mixes it in his last bottle and succeeds. Now Jean is arrested by the police. The story starts again from where the sentence is announced 2 days later. People come from far away to see Jean's end. As soon as they bring him out of jail, Jean finds a chance and opens the bottle with the lid. When people are waiting for Jean, he goes to the executioner, who comes out of a carriage dressed like a prince. The executioner kneels down and cries, calling Jean innocent. Now Jean also sprays perfume on a handkerchief, and when he waves it in the air, everyone feels like heaven, and everyone calls him a god. Jean considers himself the savior of mankind, and he throws his handkerchief among the people. And at one time, everyone, small, big, poor, rich, black, white, etc., start loving each other without any discrimination. Seeing this, Jean realizes true love. He remembers the fruit-selling girl. He believes that by loving her like this, he could make her his. Thinking this, he becomes sad and starts crying. Suddenly, Riches reaches the spot and waves a sword in his hand to kill Jean. But the magic of the perfume also makes him helpless. He bends down at his feet and asks for forgiveness. Jean realizes his mistake and leaves the city. Later, the effect of the perfume fades among the people. Jean is now going back to the fish market of his birthplace. He takes out the perfume bottle from his pocket and puts perfume on himself. Feeling this, everyone in the room looks at him as they are being affected by the perfume. This is how Jean's life ends. With this movie ends here, and thanks for watching.